Dear friends, in today's class, we are going to discuss one of the important topics related to the class is constructor and what are the types of constructor. Let's discuss what is constructor. Constructor is a special member function. Why it is a special member function? As the class name and function name is the same, it becomes a special member function which is known as your constructor. What is the benefit of the constructor? When the object is created, the constructor automatically calls. We have not to make a separate call for the constructor. And what is the benefit? As lines you are writing, it will take the extra space in the memory, and hence as we have not to take any object to call the method or the function, hence the performance become faster. Otherwise we can say constructor is used to allocate the memory. You see here the class name and name should be same so that it becomes a special member function which is known as your constructor. Suppose roughly I can explain, if the class name is x and the function name is x, it becomes a special member function known as your constructor. There are four types of constructor: default constructor, parameterized constructor, overloaded constructor, copy constructor. In today's session, we are going to discuss the default constructor and parameterized constructor. First is default constructor. When the object is created, constructor automatically called, and what the value it automatically stored through the help of constructor, that is known as your default value, and the constructor is known as your default constructor. Now you see, suppose I have taken a class Swadhin and name of the function is Swadhin, it becomes a constructor. When the object is created, constructor automatically call, and whatever the statement placed here that will execute. We have not to write object.Swadhin. And if any variable or member will be there, that default value will be executed by the constructor, and that value is known as your default value, and the constructor is known as your default constructor. Let's see and run the program. I open the program. Let I am opening the program, and now I compile the program, then run the program, and it will display Swadhin. I can give any message. Suppose if the class will be taken as a Sriram, anything you can write Sriram, and the constructor name must be Sriram. If you take the class name is Shreyansh, the constructor name should be Shreyansh, and hence the object will be created as Sriram, and accordingly the program will execute. If a member will be declared, suppose int x, it will display the default value, because at the time of constructor creation it initializes the value of x. If I want to display, it will display the garbage value, and if I store the value, it will display that value what I have stored. Suppose x equal to 900. If I run the program, it will display 900, and the constructor is known as your default constructor. Next is a parameterized constructor. What is parameterized constructor? If at the time of creation of object you pass some value to the constructor, that is known as your parameterized constructor. Here class name must be same, and you can pass one or more than one argument. Suppose I have taken a class P, it's a two member x and y. I am passing at the creation of object P object 100A. 100 is stored in XX, A is stored in YY, XX stored in a local member X, YY stored in a local member Y. I access X and Y. And at the time of creation of object, if you pass some value to the constructor, that is known as your parameterized constructor, or some extent people tell it as argument based constructor. If I want to run this program, open your corresponding editor and start running the program. Let open it. Compile and run the program. You will be getting the result 108, because at the time of creation of object we pass two arguments. So in today's session we explain two different types of constructor, default constructor and parameterized constructor. Next two constructor we have to discuss in the next class. I think today's session you understand. If you understand, kindly like it. If you did not subscribe, please subscribe it. If you are having any doubt, please make the comment. Thank you. See you in the next class.